And this is our traditional Survivor Series matchup, Team Christ versus Team Adams. And Helios Christ, as you can see, he's in control with a chair. Helios Christ is by himself. Both his teammates, Reese Bobby and Tendencies, have been eliminated from this match. The world champion, in order to win this, has got to eliminate all three opposing members of Team Adams on his own. I have never seen a disadvantage like this before at an MPWF Survivor Series. And Brian Adams holding Helios Christ for Douglas. The faces, if you will, have done fantastic so far in this match. And a big boot there by Helios Christ. And now Helios Christ is going to throw Douglas into the turnbuckle. Douglas able to brace himself. And now Helios Christ going to send Douglas back to the outside of the ring again. So Douglas has probably been the man who's more worse for wear out of his teammates so far at the Survivor Series. Oh, what a shot to the face there with the steel steps. What a shot to the face there by Helios Christ. Picking up those big heavy steps and hitting Douglas in the face. 2, 3, and Helios Christ has managed to get this to 2-1. And now Joe Eagle going to knee Helios Christ in the face. Tommy Douglas has been eliminated from this matchup. And now Joe Eagle got him up with a suplex. And oh my God! Helios Christ suplex just in between the cracks of those steel steps. Now, I mean, this is a matchup we saw it fully loaded. Joe Eagle and Helios Christ for the World's Heavyweight Championship. Both men beat the hell out of each other, but Helios Christ, when it was all said and done, was able to leave the World's Champion. Will that be the same for him tonight at Survivor Series in this traditional Survivor Series match as he knocks Eagle off the turnbuckle and then knocks Brian Adams off the apron, and now Helios Christ stomping away, fighting for his life. And Christ, what a punch. What a right solid hand by Helios Christ. And now Christ looking for more weapons underneath the ring. And oh, what a punch there by Joe Eagle. Big punches there. Oh, that's a double team by Adams and Eagle. Inverted, if you will. And now, oh, Joe Eagle switching around Christ. And now going to get him up for the shin breaker. So Joe Eagle will wear down the big man, wear down the longer legs of Helios Christ so he can utilize that figure 4 leg lock. We've seen this chair already use a lot. Oh, wow. I was going to say we saw this chair do a ton of damage tonight so far. And I mean, we saw even more with that shot there by Joe Eagle. Early on, we saw MVP pretty much get his neck broken by Yamasaki Yoshino, and there's a back suplex there by Joe Eagle. So this has been one hell of a CPV. Tonight, the Survivor Series has been off the chain. And a back body drop there by Helios Christ. As we said before, the sole survivor of Team Rodriguez was Whisper when he pinned Lethal Mathematics in the final moments of the matchup. Sasha Fierce defeated Helga by submission. That's right, the big woman, the Ginger Aunt Jemima of the MPWF tapped out to the Dragon Sleeper of Sasha Fierce, so Sasha Fierce could retain the MPWF Women's Championship. A huge shocker there. Apollo is now the #1 contender for the MPWF title after defeating his former teammate Antonio Goldman in a steel cage matchup and a big suplex there by Joe Eagle. The tag team champions SBM retained. US champion, a new US champion, Sean Stevens defeated Ricky Cash. And I mean, we got this matchup right here, now DDT, and Yamasaki Yoshino was able to defeat MVP in the Extreme Rules match. And still to come, we have one more match after this, the main event, Annihilation's big one. The MPWF Championship is on the line as Craig David takes on the Black Giant. I mean, like I said, this event is amazing. And next time we'll be on YouTube will be MPWF War Episode 5. And that's going to be one hell of a show, ladies and gentlemen. The first episode of War on the PS3. Expect some huge surprises. Expect some great action on War. So Helios Christ is trying to fight for his life here against these two. And I said the fans were enjoying the disadvantage that Helios Christ was having. But Helios Christ, it almost seems that he doesn't need his teammates. It almost seems that Helios Christ can, without a shadow of a doubt, win this matchup by himself, as he's able to take on the Messiah of the MPWF. And I mean, if Helios Christ can pin both Joe Eagle and Brian Adams, oh, what a shot there with his steel steps, and that's what eliminated Tommy Douglas. If he can beat both those men by himself, then he sure as hell deserves to be the World's Heavyweight Champion. And now going for a cover here, that could be it. 1, 2, and Brian Adams breaks up the count, and that is the numbers game that Helios Christ has to deal with in this match. And a big knife hand there by Joe Eagle, as Joe Eagle fights back with rights and lefts. And now twists away at the wrist. And now another reversal there by Helios. Shoots around with a waist lock. Now Helios going for a back suplex and drops Joe Eagle in the back of his neck. So the big thing from this, the big question after this match is all said and done, who is going to be the #1 contender for the World's Heavyweight Championship? I mean, if Helios Christ wins, then we could perhaps be seeing no one else become the #1 contender. I want to choke slam off the top rope there by Helios Christ. Nothing but big impact as he knocks down Joe Eagle. Oh, a kick there by Helios. And oh, Bryan Adams switching Helios Christ and sends him to the outside of the ring. Unfortunately for Helios Christ, as Bryan Adams was able to sidestep him, and now Helios Christ fighting with his opponent at Judgment Day last CPV, and now Joe Eagle back up and ready to go. Bryan Adams and Joe Eagle can continue their assault on the world champion on the outside of the ring, and now Joe Eagle undoing the German announce table, which was already broken earlier this night in the United States title matchup. And now, oh, what a shot there by Bryan Adams, a big Russian leg sweep. And now Joe Eagle picking Helios Christ up. And I have no idea what's on the mind of Joe Eagle. And there's a suplex. And Helios Christ suplex on the outside of the ring. And now, oh, floater of a DDT there by Joe Eagle. And now look at these elbows there by Bryan Adams, as Eagle and Adams are getting a piece of Helios Christ. Finally, after weeks of waiting, after weeks of finally making Helios Christ suffer, they're finally doing it. They're finally getting their hands on this man. So this crowd here in Hollywood is loving every bit of it. Oh, what a boot there by Helios Christ. Now Christ heading to a place he's not usually familiar with and decides to get down. And looking to try and take another cheap shot at Bryan Adams, and he does. Hits the clothesline there, and Bryan Adams, Joe Eagle realizing that Helios Christ wasn't paying attention. And now Joe Eagle gonna take advantage. That's why he's the Messiah of the MPWF. But Helios Christ grab him around the waist sock, and now Russian leg sweep. Helios Christ is so resilient. It's still continuing. And now Christ gonna send Joe Eagle into the turnbuckle once more. And now set him up on the top rope. And now, oh, big hand across the throat. Helios Christ chokeslam off the top rope there by the World's Heavyweight Champion. And now Christ with a clothesline knocking Bryan Adams off the apron. Joe Eagle in trouble here. 1, 2, no way. 3, and Helios Christ has managed to make this one become one-on-one. The World's Champion Helios Christ has managed to eliminate Tommy Douglas and Joe Eagle single-handedly by himself. Said, you may not like this, Matt, but that is damn sure impressive. And now Bryan Adams has to go one-on-one with Helios Christ here. And now Bryan Adams has got the steel steps, and he's bringing him back inside the ring again. And this crowd here trying to get on Bryan Adams' side. Want Bryan Adams to finish this matchup off. And now Bryan Adams with another neckbreaker takedown there on Helios. And now Adams heading to the top rope, looking to descend. And there's an elbow drop there by Bryan Adams. I mean, Bryan Adams must be in disbelief, seeing both of his teammates being eliminated. They had a 3-on-1 advantage, and it has now become 1-on-1. It's now one man will become the sole survivor of this traditional Survivor Series match, and Helios Christ tripping over the steps there. Might have tweaked a knee. Oh, kick there by Bryan Adams. And now Bryan going to send Helios Christ there into the turnbuckle. Now Bryan Adams going to set up for something dangerous here, as there's the steel steps. And Bryan Adams going to suplex him off. And hang on a sec. Oh my goodness! Helios Christ's spine might be broken as Bryan Adams just suplexed him off the top rope on the steel steps. And the world champion is done. Oh, no way. No way. Helios Christ, the world champion, is still fighting back. If that couldn't beat Helios Christ, nothing will. And there's a pay dirt out of nowhere. Bryan Adams connects with the pay dirt. Now going for the cover. The world champ's done. 1, 2, Bryan Adams wins. And no, Helios Christ continues to fight back out. And now Helios Christ. Well, this time you see how he stalled with that back body drop. He's weaker, couldn't hit it as fast and as powerful as he could before. And now he has the steps. And now hits Bryan Adams right in the face with it. If Helios Christ wins this matchup, he's the greatest World Heavyweight Champion of all time. And that's right, as this fan is saying, this is awesome. And there's a fall away slam, or a backcracker, whatever you want to call it, by Helios Christ. How this man is still fighting back in this matchup, I have no idea. And now Christ got Adams on the top rope. And now, oh my God, he's going to chokeslam Bryan Adams on the steel steps. He's going to chokeslam on the steps. And there you can see the back of his thigh landed on the steel steps. And Helios Christ isn't done the punishment yet. Helios Christ wants to savor this. He's going to eliminate all 3 members of Team Adams by himself. And look at him waiting for Brian Adams to get up. And oh, Brian Adams is able to wrestle the steel chair away from him. And oh, missing the chair. And now Brian Adams in trouble as Helios Christ wrestles the chair away from him. And now, oh, again, Brian Adams taking the chair. And oh, missing this time. And now Christ grabbing him around the waist. And now, oh, Russian leg sweep taking down Brian Adams. As this match gets even more intense, which team is going to win? Both team captains, the final minutes of their match. And they got shot to the chair, to the thigh with a chair. And now Brian Adams able to take the chair from Helios. And now, oh, big shot to the stomach there. Brian Adams, DDT sending Helios Christ face first on the steel chair. And now Brian Adams heading back to the top rope again. Brian Adams with an elbow drop right to the heart of Helios Christ. What a kick there by Brian Adams. Now Brian Adams shoots around with a waist lock. Now going to go for a back suplex. And oh my goodness, Helios Christ's spine just landed on the steel steps again. And now there's the arm drag takeover by Brian Adams. There's not much more that the world's champion can take. Twice his back has landed on the steps. And now Brian Adams setting Helios Christ on the top rope. And here it comes, ladies and gentlemen. Brian Adams has got him up. Here comes a muscle buster. The muscle buster, and Brian Adams going for a cover here. Is that it? 2, 3, and Team Adams has won the traditional Survivor Series matchup. What a contest we just witnessed here at the Survivor Series. The first main event of this evening. Team Adams survives. Tommy Douglas and Joe Eagle, you can see them now accompanying Brian Adams. Kudos to the world's champion Helios Christ. Helios Christ was at a 3-on-1 disadvantage and managed to eliminate Joe Eagle and Tommy Douglas. But after certain events, he was unable to pin Brian Adams, and there you have it. Team Adams is victorious, and now Joe Eagle is confronting Brian Adams. And what is this we're witnessing here? And Joe Eagle showing respect to Brian Adams for winning this matchup, for being able to pin Helios Christ where Joe Eagle couldn't. That is great sportsmanship, ladies and gentlemen. But up next is our main event. The MPWF title is on the line as Craig David defends against the Black Giant.